Alright, listen up, freshmen. The OGs are back with another What You Need to Know About Liberty University updated for 2020. I'm Cameron.
I'm Mikayla.
And we're gonna get started.
Now, it's been a while since me and Cameron have kind of debunked everything about Liberty, everything that you freshmen need to know before you set foot on campus. We're about to tell you, and obviously things have changed in the past 2 years. I know we've changed. We couldn't even watch the last videos of us. So cringy, so gross. You know, Liberty's constantly changing, so we're trying to keep up with the times.
Things are, yeah, like she said, things are changing. They're changing very quickly, and we felt the need to create this video just because the change has been so rapid. A lot of the rules have been, some of them are even stricter, some of them are more relaxed.
So something that a lot of people, when they look up Liberty, when they hear about Liberty, first thing that comes to mind are, I'm not gonna go there because of the rules. Now, I was there before I came to Liberty. I heard a lot about the rules and I was like, what the heck is that? So we're just gonna kind of go to specific the rules and what you really can do, what you can't do, and just some things that maybe like Liberty doesn't tell you that you actually like, it's not a big deal.
All right, so the first big thing about Liberty, especially that makes it different than any other college, is convocation, which is kind of like a chapel service, except it's not really always a preacher necessarily. Sometimes it is a preacher, sometimes it's a musician, sometimes it's some sort of politician. One of the big differences now here in 2020 is that convo is on Wednesday and Friday. There's no Monday convocation anymore. And convo select is on Thursday, which we'll talk about here in a second. So the big thing with convo is basically it's required. If you live on campus or if you're a freshman and sophomore off campus, you have to go. Your attendance is recorded essentially, and you can be fined if you end up skipping. One of the big differences now about convo versus a couple of years ago was now basically you have to be there. It used to be that you could go home for a weekend, leave Thursday night, and that would count as an excused absent from convo as long as you signed out. Now you have to be there on the Wednesday and Fridays. You can't sign out, go home to your family in North Carolina or Pennsylvania or wherever you live, expect to get away with skipping convocation.
Yeah, so basically that would count as your one skip. You could put in a form saying like this, like why you're going home, but unless it's something like serious family emergency, then it'll count as your skip and you will get fined if you skip again. And I think the fines, I want to say it's like $15 and then it keeps on going up. So yeah. Oh, the off-campus.
All right. So if you're an off-campus commuter student, you live in the Lynchburg area, not on campus, if you're a freshman or sophomore, you are required to go to convo. From what I know, there's actually RAs that check you in. Now, there's also a rule that if you're 20 and under and living off campus, so let's say you're a junior or senior, but you're 20, you technically still have to go. However, I don't think there's any actual way that they report that you were there or not. For example, I have a roommate, he's 20, he has yet to go to convo this semester.
So the next thing is curfew. This is something that hasn't changed, but basically when you are 20 and older and you are living on campus, you can sign out and basically you can go anywhere off campus past curfew, but you do have to be back by 4 a.m. That's kind of like when it goes. So you can't really like sleep over someone's place, and those rules are the same where you have to be staying with someone who is married and lives off campus, obviously, or someone who is like family, like your parents. But there's also a rule where you can't stay with someone who is younger than 21 who is a family member. So like if you have a cousin who's like 20 that lives off campus, you can't really stay with her or him, so.
Another thing with curfew, so if you are under the age of 20, curfew is midnight during the week and it is 12:30 on the weekends, Friday, Saturday. So you get a whole extra 30 minutes. I feel like I said that last video, deja vu,
yep,
wow.
I felt that too.
If you live off campus, obviously you're on your own, it's a different story, but yeah.
So dress code, that is another thing that Liberty is infamous for. I'm just gonna straight out say it, that it is not
even a big deal.
Like, what is dress code?
So the big thing with guys, for guys dress code is basically wear pants. just wear pants. It doesn't
Shouldn't be
matter.
hard.
It doesn't matter if it's sweatpants. You just can't wear shorts basically, which is totally fine because during the winter it's usually cold anyway. Like you have August and maybe parts of April that are warmer.
Right.
And you can wear ripped jeans. You can wear anything ripped. I've seen some pretty shredded jeans on campus. So I feel like it's not a big deal. Like my jeans right now are completely destroyed. But yeah, just as long as you wear pants and a shirt.
Yeah, and for girls, honestly, I think it's just common sense, just being modest, and I guess like definitely the only rule that I would say that we like kind of keep on is like when you're going to classes, don't wear sweatpants, and don't wear like a tank top or anything that's gonna like expose. It's just honestly common sense. It's really lax. No one's gonna say anything unless you're wearing something super, super obscene, but besides that, you're good.
I've seen some pretty weird things actually.
True.
Like,
Oh, me too.
About it, like I'm like, how did she? What? Next thing I have on here is romance.
Oh, romance PDA.
All right.
Ugh.
Can't go to your significant other's dorm or like together. Like you can't do that. Guys and girls' rooms don't cross into each other except during specified times throughout the semester. However, for actual relationships, you can handhold, you can kiss on campus. I mean, you see about anything on campus, so
True.
you know it's really not. It's really not a big deal.
No, and a lot of people like make this joke, and I don't know if this was a rule. I think it might have been a rule at Liberty where like guys and girls couldn't walk on the same side, or like guys and girls couldn't like hold hands or like hug for more than like 5 seconds. Like none of that is true. Literally, this is just like any other college campus. People are dating. People are whatever. So cleanliness check. So for 2 years ago, it was very strict to divide the chores in the room, like who was going to do this and who's going to do that, and if you didn't do that, then that person would get fined or get checked.
It was during every single convocation too. So every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, your room had to be like almost spotless.
Spotless, yeah. But now, since there's only combo on Wednesday and Friday, those are the days that they check, and they do not have you split chores anymore. It's a lot less, like, I don't really hear of anyone getting signed off anymore. It's just more of like a check to see that your room is not a mess. So honestly, that's also like not really a thing anymore. But they got rid of that completely last year, and then they brought it back this year, just like a lot less intense. Okay, so for housing on campus, there is Commons 1, 2, and 3, which is the most expensive options, and I would say probably the best options for freshmen and sophomores. Best location, you have one other roommate, you have your own bathroom, and there's a common area so you can meet both your girl and guy wing. They meet in the middle. I've lived in Commons all 3 years. I love Commons.
It's by far the best place. It's by far the best place to make friends. Like it's very easy to make friends. There's always people around, and like people just sit together. They just chill and they'll work on homework. They'll do whatever, especially in the common areas. It's a really great place for freshmen. I was really glad that I did that freshman year. I couldn't have imagined living on East with only just a couple other guys in a apartment.
Right.
The one thing though about Commons is Commons 1, 2, and 3, they are by far the most expensive dorm on campus as of today, February 5th, 2020. The Commons are $8,000 for the year. I don't know if that'll go up or go down. I don't know if there's a price log. I don't know what's up with that. And the cheapest option, which we'll talk about next, is the Circle. I don't know anything about the Circle.
You do have 2 other roommates, so there's 3 in a room, communal bathrooms, and I wouldn't say it's the farthest, but it is past Commons. So
it's a little bit of a walk.
It is away.
The next option is the Hill, which is another really good option, just because it's literally right across the street from DeMoss. So if you have an early 8:15 class, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or whatever day, you can literally roll out of bed and just walk across the bridge to class. And the price for the Hill is $7,700 a month. Once again, for that, you're paying for location. The rooms are quite spacious as well.
It's only 2 people now in the Hill. It used to be 3, now it's only 2.
Yeah, so there's a lot of room in there, and then it's communal bathroom as well.
East Campus, which is like the apartment living, and that is across the highway, so that's probably the farthest place to live, honestly. I think it's a great option for juniors and seniors because once you have like a solidified friend group, then you can bring your friends there. But how much is that?
So East Campus is $7,000 a year, which is the same price as the Quad as well. Okay. Which I don't know what the Quad is.
I don't know much about the Quad, but the Quad's also really far away.
Yeah, so. It's on the other side.
Yeah,
it's over
it's
there.
past the Circle. Yeah. For the next thing is class policies. So basically, for 100, 200, attendance is required. You have to go to class. You get, depending how many times you have the class per week, you only get like 2 or 3 absences the whole semester. 3 unexcused absences, and then the rest would have to be like, excused from some sort of thing. But so that's that, and then 300 and 400 level classes, they don't like technically take points off if you're late, but I know my 300, 400, I mean if you don't go to class, but I know for my 300, 400 levels, like if you don't go, you do have to like, you do have top hat. They do know that you're not there, so you can't like kind of slide by all the time. I know for my digi classes, my professionalism score goes down when I don't go to class, so.
With some of my 300, 400 level classes last semester, most of the time it really didn't matter, at least in the business classes. However, I do remember specifically one girl asked for extra credit at the end of the semester, and the professor asked, were you here at every single class? Like if I open Top Hat right now, will I see that you were marked present every single time? And she's like, no, and he's like, well then there's nothing I can do. So sometimes professors will leverage that as well. So I mean, basically make it to class. I guess the other instance that comes up with the 304 level classes is I had like 2 weeks where because of work I had to skip class. The professor emailed me and said, hey, notice you haven't been in class a little bit. Can you come to my office and see me? And he just simply wanted to check in, make sure that I was still breathing, living, and it was a friendly conversation.
They care.
It wasn't, yeah, they do care.
Yeah, and Top Hat is basically an app that they use to kind of track your location or track the attendance. They never really asked for location freshman year. I don't remember that, but now it's almost every single class they'll check that you have your location on, so they see if you're actually in the room when you put the code in.
Yeah, freshman year is what a lot of people still do probably, is they have their friend go to class, the friend texts them the code, and they'll be laying in bed and then just type in the code. Not that I know anything about that.
Yeah, no, never would I ever. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is part 1 of everything freshmen need to know. We'll be doing part 2 on Cameron's channel, so make sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, check out his channel, and if you guys have any more questions about Liberty, make sure to leave them in the comments below. Thank you guys for all the support. This is crazy how much the last video, how many views, just like reception we got, and how many people come up to us today from being like, oh, that time you were in the study room. It's crazy. So crazy. And some of these people are my friends now, and it's like, what? Like,
it's so crazy. I'll be walking around, some dude's like, hey, you did the video with Mikayla. I'm like, yeah, and I think they say that because they can't remember my name.
But yeah, it's so crazy. So thank you guys so much for the support. It means so much. And we will see you guys soon. Bye.